Trang Quynh Cursing the King by Vietnamese Folktales. Brought to you by TellStory.net, stories from around the world. Trang Quynn's relationship with royal authority had always walked a razor's edge. One day, Quynh conceived one of his most audacious schemes, one that would create maximum chaos while keeping him completely untouchable. The trap was elegantly simple. Quynh sent words to every butcher in the market district. Master Trang was hosting a grand feast for high officials tomorrow. Each vendor should prepare several pounds of their finest meat, pre-cut into serving portions to save the kitchen staff time and effort. The butchers were thrilled. A major government banquet meant excellent profit and prestigious recognition. They spent the morning carefully cutting their best cuts, arranging everything beautifully, anticipating a lucrative sale. But as afternoon sun beat down on the market stalls, no one came. The meat sat exposed, beginning to spoil. Hours passed. Their investment was deteriorating into loss. Finally, a delegation of increasingly anxious butchers marched to Quynn's residence, expecting feast preparations, explanations, or at minimum, payment. Instead, they found his house silent and empty. No guests, no cooking, no celebration whatsoever. When they confronted Quynh, he looked genuinely bewildered.
"A feast? I ordered no such thing,"
he said, his face a perfect mask of sympathetic confusion.
"Someone has played a cruel trick on both of us. You should find whoever told you to cut that meat and give them a piece of your mind. They deserve to be cursed for this deception."
The butcher's anger blazed hot. Their time wasted, their meat ruined, their profit vanished. But they couldn't recall the specific name of the messenger who'd given the order.
"Well, since you can't remember the exact name, just shout forth the one who told you to curse him loudly. Anyone nearby will understand, and if the scoundrel is around, he'll certainly hear you."
The logic was satisfying. The butchers stormed into the streets, their rage genuine and volcanic.
"Damn the one who told us to cut. May he be cursed for eternity. Damn, Tung Bao Tai, curse the lying bastard who told us to cut meat. Tung Bao Tai."
Their voices echoed through the neighborhood, raw and furious. Crowds stopped to stare. The spectacle of multiple enraged butchers marching through the streets, hurling elaborate curses, drew attention from every corner. Word spread like wildfire. But what the butchers didn't know, what Quynh had counted on, was that Bao Tai wasn't just a description. It was the king's era name, the sacred designation by which his entire reign would be recorded in history. In Vietnamese royal tradition, era names were holy. They represented not just the king but the legitimacy of the dynasty itself. To curse an era name was treason of the highest order, potentially punishable by death. By tricking the butchers into screaming Tung Bao Tai, Quynh had orchestrated mass public treason. The king's sacred name was being cursed in the most explicit, insulting terms, loudly enough for hundreds to hear, creating a scandal that shook the entire city. The genius of the scheme lay in its perfect layers of protection. Quynh had never cursed the king himself. He'd never even suggested anyone else should. He'd simply given helpful advice to wronged merchants about expressing legitimate grievances. If questioned, he could truthfully claim complete innocence. The butchers, too, could claim ignorance. They'd been genuinely deceived and were expressing justified anger. They hadn't known the phrase had a double meaning. Yet the result was spectacular. The king's era name publicly and repeatedly desecrated, creating exactly the humiliation Quynh intended, with no one who could be legitimately punished. Everyone knew Quynh had orchestrated it. Everyone. But proving it meant acknowledging they'd been outsmarted by linguistic cleverness, an admission no one was willing to make.